Morning. I'm Bob Allison. Rob and I will see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
We are WNZK, Dearborn Heights, Detroit, your ethnic superstation at 690 days, 680 nights. WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold.
If you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
Tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network radio show featuring Ike Engelbaum. Ike does an array of interviews with people that make the aging process go smoothly. And for the Entrepreneurs Network segment, Ike interviews up-and-coming entrepreneurs. If you're looking to start your own business, Ike has some great advice to offer you to get your dreams of starting a home-based business a reality. If you'd like to talk to Ike Engelbaum for more information, call 313-929-6105. That's 313-929-6105. So tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to hear Ike Engelbaum on the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneur Network radio show.
And if you want to see me, and I promise to behave myself, why don't you join me tomorrow morning, Thursday, and every Thursday morning from 9:15 to 10:30, our Entrepreneurs Network group meets. And we have a special segment now, Encore Entrepreneurship, whereby we encourage people who thought they were going to retire, but you get bored with just hanging around the house, and you can only play so much golf and do so much traveling. And that ain't cheap either, right? So if you want to earn some extra income, if you don't need it personally, why not donate the profits of whatever you can spare to a charitable organization. There are so many needs out there, and I encourage you to fill up your day in a delightful way. How about that? Fill up the day in a delightful way. Why don't you join up with the Rotary Club or the Optimist Club? I live out in West Bloomfield, so I get involved with a lot of the programs in our area. But I guarantee you, if you call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980, I can put you in touch with the Rotary or Optimist Club in your area, and you'd be amazed how your days not only become more enjoyable, but more meaningful. And you know, there's a 4-line poem that I have in my Bright Side of Aging magazine, and it actually is in relation to success. What is success in life? And Emerson wrote the book, or wrote the poem, and I will give you a paraphrased version of it. It says, success, to laugh and to laugh often, to grow a garden, to make the world a little more beautiful than you arrived, to raise children to become respected citizens, to be able to learn from the criticism of others, and to benefit from the wisdom of true friends. But above all, to know that one other human being breathes a little bit easier because you have lived. That is success. And I really buy to that, and I'm very, very grateful to have friends like Dr. Andre Lee, who is on the line. How about that? Dr. Andre Lee is on the line with me. His background is a giving-type person. He used to be the administrator for Highland Park General Hospital. Then when they closed up, he decided to do the entrepreneurial approach. He started helping young black students get into the medical school and encourage them to get in the healthcare field. And he has his own foundation, Leeway Foundation. So the tagline, as I recall, Dr. Andre Lee, to Leeway Foundation is to leading the way. Is that right, Dr. Lee?
Absolutely. And we are focusing more on health literacy in the community. That's going to be our central core going forward. Mm-hmm. We really want to help the community educate. Let me tell you, I'm excited right now for a couple of reasons, although I was a little dismayed at that introduction about us golfers and so forth. I'm one of that group. But here's what I'm excited about. First of all, our foundation got a grant awarded from the Wilson. I shouldn't say something. Better not say the foundation yet. Yes, I can. The Wilson Foundation. I got a letter.
Good.
to do a video series with cancer patients. That's marvelous. And then, just as I calling you, I get a call from a colleague who says the Tennessee Hospital Association wants to partner to put on a group, partner with webinars aimed at the community. Oh my God! I almost forgot to call into the Ike Engelbaum show.
How could you forget me? Huh?
I got to make a call. And I mean, this is exciting.
Yes, it sure is. And I admire you for constantly coming up with innovative ways.
Well, I had, because I was going to mention this morning on the show that the Leeway Foundation, and in collaboration with the Hope Foundation down here, will be launching a series of webinars for the community, and they're free, starting in July. And so I'll mention it again with specific dates around the 21st or so. That people can, if they got computer access, and they can tune in. And it's going to be a series on what we've been talking about: how to save money on healthcare costs, the accolades thing, all of that.
Right.
And this is exciting, Ike.
Yeah, no. Well, listen, I can hear it in your voice, and the truth of it is that you are helping people in their basic needs, and at the same time, there are a lot of people who need the encouragement to get involved. In fact, I mentioned the Rotary Club and the Optimist Club, and we just had a meeting this morning, and we were thinking of different projects to reach out to the community to make their lives easier and healthier. And you're right at the forefront. And as far as the other projects you're involved with, like the book that I've got in front of me right now, Accolades, as a tagline, celebrating the life and legacy of a loved one before they leave, is another way that families can be helped to continue the thread of their family. And you've got some really great starting points, and the contents are such that people can just fill in the blanks. And while the person is alive and around you, you can get the information. And the way the book reads, it's my kind of book because it's self-explanatory. You can pick it up at any time and then pick up on that particular chapter. It starts off with the memorial photo book. Do you want to address that and how what's behind it?
Yeah, and I would just point out that one of the reasons these seminars are free is the Hope Foundation is paying for it. They're sponsoring it. And I would like to see it in some of the assisted living and nursing home places and other places where elderly hang out, and the Optimist Club and some of the other social organizations ought to think about sponsoring some of this.
Mm-hmm.
But what we do in the book is talk about celebrating the life of loved ones before they leave here. Why wait till after they're gone and start saying, look at the great things that Aunt Jane did while she was alive? Why not let Aunt Jane know how much she's been appreciated and the legacy that she's established, and then put it so that generations to come, even after she's gone, will know what she did.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Before we lose it, because you know how things are. If you don't put it down or cement it, then what happens is 10 years from now, 15 years from now, we'll be saying, I think she did this. I think she did that. I don't remember what she did.
Right. And in the proper setting, most people do want to share some of their past experiences, but for some people it's awkward. And your book, Accolades, is under $10, and if anyone is interested in using it as a fundraiser, there are 51 actual topics, aside from the memorial photo book where you actually date it and write a little bit of a note. Comes the holiday season, and whatever holiday comes around, and you have the family around you, you have sort of a guidebook on how you can make the event that much more meaningful.
Exactly.
And and any organization or church that wants to use the book, not only that one, but you have the Loose Ends book that I think you updated recently. Is that correct?
Yes, that is. Loose Ends too.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning up your personal mess.
Right. Well, we got a lot of personal messes. That's for sure.
It does the same thing. It makes people stop for a moment with all the hustle and bustle of daily living and say, look, I need to stop and get organized. What if I drop dead today?
Mm-hmm.
Will my loved ones and family know where I put that money in my shoe? Will they know that I bought stock and shares in this pharmaceutical company, or that I have invested money in a piece of property across town? Will they know these things? Nobody can read your mind.
Right, and the
Organize.
well, and this way, that old line that says a place for everything and everything in its place. But if you don't have sort of an identification of where you put it, with the accolades book, it's a pamphlet, large size type book, under $10. You can use it as a fundraiser, plus also have a meaningful way to keep the legacy of the family going. And the Loose Ends book gives you a logical way for you to be able to store things that you absolutely have to have, not only for your family, but for yourself. How many people really know, like especially now with technology, the access code, the PIN number for accounts? These are things we take for granted. But thanks to Dr. Andre Lee, he can make it happen so that you live a life that's both organized and meaningful, not only for yourself, but for those people around you. The sad part is that time slips away much more quickly than you can keep track of, and you can actually have a fun time when you get together with not only your family but friends and share some of the experiences. So Dr. Andre Lee is the man. If you want to be put in direct touch with him, feel free to call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. And I look forward to talking to you next week. And who knows, you're going to get some more grants by then. I just want you to remember Ike Engelbaum and your...
Who?
I thought you were my buddy. Okay. Anyways, let's make plans for next week, and we'll pick up with Dr. Andre Lee. Right now, we're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back. Don't you dare go away.
If you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome back, and I'm pleased to announce again one of our newer sponsors is AmeriPlan Deluxe, as well as AmeriPlan Dental. With all of the bad stuff that you hear about insurance companies, there is another avenue that you can consider, and it's much more practical in many ways than regular insurance. I'm pleased to be involved with them in helping people reduce their overall health care costs. A lot of people are not aware that if you get involved with an insurance company, obviously they're professionals and figure out a way that you pay and pay. And if there's any sort of wiggle room for them not to pay or delay the payment, they've got it figured out. You can't live without insurance, at least a decent lifestyle. I'm very fortunate in that I do have both Medicare and also Blue Cross. But guess what? There are services like dental coverage that I don't have, or vision. You may be in the same boat. You may not be able to get involved with Medicare and Blue Cross. Ameriplan is not insurance. You pay a monthly fee of as little as $24.95, $24.95 a month. Sounds almost too good to be true. For that, you get up to 50% discount many times on your prescription drugs, dental, vision, chiropractic. And let me tell you, I've had people enroll in the membership fee. This is, again, not insurance, so your prior health condition is not critical at all. And the nice thing about it is that wherever you go in the entire country, as long as you identify the zip code, they will identify various medical people that have agreed that if you want to be their patient, they will cut their costs by as much as up to 50%. And why do they do that? Well, I'll tell you. The key is that Ameriplan brings new clients or patients to the doctor, and the doctor doesn't have to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork. You pay the respective healthcare provider. He's happy in the sense that he's got the money right then and there, or you work out a payment program with him, but he has no paperwork to deal with. That's what many insurance companies purposely do. They give you so much paperwork that by the time you're done, you're exhausted and miss out on a lot of opportunities. So for $24.95, you get dental, vision, prescription, chiropractic. But if you want some more services, another $10, like for $39.95, you end up also getting telemedicine, which is really the wave of the future, in my opinion, in itself, could cut healthcare costs tremendously. Telemedicine, just as the name implies, is getting medical care through your telephone. So you have around-the-clock contact with physicians that are licensed. It doesn't mean you have to drop your doctor, but isn't it more comforting to know that if you just have some new symptoms and you're concerned about it, that you can call a doctor at 4 o'clock in the morning and you don't have to bother your own doctor? You have the capability with telemedicine to actually have your blood pressure checked by phone. Now, how's that? Of course, that takes a little more of an expense, but if you want to also consider, unfortunately, if you end up in the hospital and you get some outrageous bill that doesn't, first of all, sound right, but worst of all, is more money than you can afford, they have a professional negotiating team. This is all part of the monthly fee, where they negotiate for you and reduce the cost. And then you have ancillary services available. Many times the insurance companies will not pay for, let's say, an MRI. You get a reduced cost on that. If you'd like to get involved with me on it, would love to have you as a partner. And the nice thing about being a partner is that you can actually earn some extra income if you find it beneficial to you and you recommend it to someone else. That's all for $39.95 a month. You can drop out at any time. If you'd like to get more information, by all means, call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980. That's 888-489-8980. Or why don't you come to our meeting tomorrow morning from 9:15 to 10:30 at the Level 1 Bank, 37100 Woodward, southeast corner of Big Beaver and Woodward. That's in Bloomfield Hills. We got free coffee. We have free snacks. And we got a lot of great people around us. And you'll be able to hear other business opportunities besides your health care needs. As positive and minded a guy as I feel I am, in fact, that's one of the benefits of belonging to the Optimist Club, which I strongly encourage you to do if you want to be my guest. Tuesday mornings out at the Stage Deli in West Bloomfield. I'll buy your breakfast. How's that for a deal? Stage Deli is at, I believe it's 3875 Orchard Lake Road. It's just south of Maple, right across the street from the Beaumont Professional Building. We have great speakers, and you're surrounded by positive-minded people. And if ever there's a tip on enjoying life, don't hang out with people that are always down in the dumps if you can avoid it. Last thing when you're down and out is to get other people that are down and out around you. It's the analogy I use, it's like having a drowning person and to help them you give them more water. You don't do that. So join us on Tuesday mornings, lunchtime. We meet out at the Spasitas restaurant at 14 Mile in Farmington. And these two are positive-minded people. And that's really a way to enjoy your time that you do have available and feel you're doing good, and not only for yourself, but for others. But reality sets in, and suddenly you're on in years, and because of personal needs, you end up wanting to make a move out of your home. Well, we can assist you in that area as well. We have a team of people that can actually renovate your home should you want to stay there. If you want to move, we work with Aberdeen Van Lines, who has been around for probably around 30 years. They'll even help you pack. As far as finding an assisted living center or independent living center, we help you in that area as well. We've scouted these places out. We wouldn't make recommendations unless we believed in them. We don't charge for that service. And the reason we're able to do that is, quite frankly, they are sponsors and helping the program stay on the air. Again, call 888-489-8980, and I can give you some basic food for thought items. Number one, of course, is how much can you afford on a monthly basis to move into an assisted living center. Number two, you want the location so that relatives and family members can visit with you. As far as the entertainment capability, we have a checklist I'll be glad to send you that gives you the food for thought as to what you should consider in making a move into an assisted living center. All you got to do is call that magic number, 888-489-8980. There's a lot more stuff I want to share with you, but we'll have to wait for that for next week. Right now, I only have enough time for my favorite parting thought, which is, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. And that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with a bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other in achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, entrepreneursnetworkofmichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me.
If you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
And welcome, and just a friendly reminder, Thursday, tomorrow morning, 9:15 to 10:30. Please join us for our meeting. It's the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan weekly meeting. We meet from 9:15 to 10:30, but the meeting officially starts at 9:30. We bring in speakers. Tomorrow we're going to have a Mike Stone as a speaker whose day job is public relations and advertising, and he's going to be sharing with us what do you do in terms of public relations and all, and what strategy should you use in advertising. He's been very successful, and that's one of the wonderful things about our meeting. As I like to say, you walk out smarter than you walked in. So please, I'll give you a word of caution. If you want to walk out dumber than you walked in, don't show up, okay? So far, I've never had anyone admit to that. So that's why I keep saying it. We have healthy snacks as well as coffee. It's free. You have an opportunity to make connections with people that you normally wouldn't in your normal activities. And since I've been doing these meetings for over 40 years, there must be something to it. We've had some really tremendous success stories, and one that I did a kick out of repeating. We had a young guy, it's got to go back now about 20 years, and he had this idea of identifying locations of cars the old manual way, and now it's like a lot of great ideas. Timing is everything, and new things come along. Now you've got all kinds of electronic ways of keeping track of your car. You press your key holder on your car key thing, and you honk the horn where your car is. Well, if you think back, we used to have cars with radio aerials. Well, he came up with a little novelty item where it was a acrobat that you sort of clipped onto your radio aerial, and then you went out the parking lot, and there was the little signal for your location. And he started doing business, making them here in this country. And then he contacted the Chinese outfit, and they made a really phenomenal deal with them. And since he visited there a couple of times, he decided he would move to China, which he has done. And now he comes back and visits, and whenever he's in town, he says, I got to come back to those meetings. He enjoyed it. So I'm not suggesting you're going to move to China because you come, but we'll help you make the move in your life that you can have a more successful and hopefully happier and healthier one as well. One of the joys I get is getting a chance to meet people that I normally wouldn't. And just last meeting was Michelle Armstrong, who's a business advisor. And, you know, they have a saying in business that if you have an advisor, we don't want you just to actually strive. Why not thrive? So Michelle Armstrong said to herself, wow, since I'm a business advisor, why don't I call my company Thrive? Is that how part of it went? You want to hold up that microphone right in front of your mouth, and as I like to say, hold it as close as your significant other, okay? Okay, and I'm not going to ask who that is, okay? So, Michelle, as you know, our custom at the meetings is to have everyone introduce themselves and give a 60-second elevator pitch. So, here you are. What is your 60-second elevator pitch?
Good morning, and thank you so much for the warm welcome. Thrive is a business automation software system, and what is especially appealing for entrepreneurs is every single one of them are looking for ways to increase sales and figure out how to make the internet and digital properties work for them. So the software, and in my role, is to talk to an entrepreneur or a startup or an existing business and talk them through their client path and how people are using digital properties, their mobile phones, tablets, all of that kind of thing, and structure their advertising and their marketing around that. Specifically, I have customers and clients who think word of mouth is really the way to go. And most of the time, they simply need software or a process in place to capitalize on that, organize it, and market back to them to save them time and money.
So you have automated the whole process of entrepreneurship, is that right?
Well, I don't know about the whole thing, because entrepreneurship is all about finding a need and filling it. And in this case, I'm on the software side of it, and I help create campaigns. I work with social media. I work with video properties. I work with websites, a whole bunch of different things that people need today in business.
Well, you know, speaking of thriving, I really appreciate Wes Berry being in studio with me today. He is a fellow Rotarian, also an Optimist Club member, and has had a long history and a successful one in business. And Wes Berry, you have certainly had a lot of experience in the digital world, have you not?
Yeah, you better believe it, Ike. Our business was almost all online. We were doing about $3 million locally and about $60 million across the world through internet purchases, primarily through social media and AdWords. It was a very aggressive enterprise. We sold it about 2 years ago, and it was a real experience. And you know, we got in at the very beginning. Well, not the very beginning, but we started our internet portion of our business in 1994, which is pretty close to the beginning. Mm-hmm. And we had a lot of success. It sounds as though I'm sorry, what was your name again?
It's Michelle Armstrong. Mm-hmm.
Boy, it sounds like Michelle has a really great product here, because it's so confusing to organize your business and in a reliable manner. I know I had a very bad experience early on where I was working with a software provider, and they kept patching things and just rigging it in such ways that it wasn't really serviceable. And I wound up getting tied to that particular company for quite a while because I didn't have the portability to be able to take it someplace else. So, I think that would be something that's kind of interesting to think about. Is your service a subscription type service, or do you actually build things for clients individually?
It's a combination of both, and thanks for the point on that. There's a lot of apps, and there are a lot of pieces of software that can be customizable, especially in your industry now. Build a better mousetrap, I guess.
Sure.
And you have options, and we have niche apps, and we have niche software. The beauty of Thrive is that it can integrate with many of those pieces.
And are those your apps, or are you reselling them, or?
Actually, we just cooperate and coexist, and we integrate. So there are softwares upon softwares and apps upon apps. And the trick these days is to not get corralled into using exclusively one, and to play nice in the sandbox. And we're able to do that with Thrive.
That's great. That's great. Do you have a contract basis with people, or is it an ad hoc type relationship, or how does that work?
The software starts as a template form, and it is on a 12-month contract. And part of my role is developing a custom solution for each business. For example, dental offices typically have software that accommodates many of the digital functions that they need, but they're missing some other pieces. So Thrive can work hand in hand with other software.
So do you have products that can text people reminders of their appointments and things like that?
Do that, as well as provide the business owner and the user follow-up messages so that they can stay on top of either if they need to reschedule or if they should be sending a thank you.
Wow, that's a great asset there. What other types of software do you utilize with your clients?
Well, in this case, Thrive has 16 different components with it.
Wow.
Yes, and so some businesses, much like your iPhone, we don't use everything on our iPhone, but we have a select few that we use all the time. And part of talking with clients and customizing it is finding the pieces and the parts that are pain points for the business and help them overcome some of the issues they're having day-to-day running their business.
Now, I don't think that you get into like phone software and things like that, do you? Do you provide that sort of service as well?
No, I do not provide phone software, although we do have portals that we provide where clients are able to interact both by email, by texting, and by clicking to call, as well as seeing videos and interacting with documents and surveys that you may have.
Boy, that sounds like a very well-rounded, well-thought-out program. Do you have a lot of what other types of clients do you have besides dentists?
You know what? I have an excellent range of clients here locally in the southeastern Michigan area. I service all of Michigan, and our corporate offices are based in Dallas, Texas. So my clients range from retail to startups to real estate. I have a doctor. I have a chiropractor. I have, I'm trying to figure out fields that I'm working in. I have lots of asks, and I'm very eager. I love the art community, so I find myself in that area often. And I do work with consulting firms, too, because they have a tendency to have many follow-up concerns and needs in their business.
A CRM, a customer relations management software, do you provide that sort of product as well?
We build that right in.
You build it right in. That's great. And that way all of the different components that you have can interact with one another.
Exactly.
Boy, that's a real undertaking. It's confusing to try to keep all those balls in the air at the same time. I know that I have trouble balancing my iPhone, as you mentioned, let alone all those other items. Do you have a staff that you work with, or is this pretty much a centrally based company?
I am feet on the streets here in Michigan.
Great.
I work in office and out of office. I am I could move. I'm mobile. I have my own office in Royal Oak as well, so if we need to meet there, that's fine. I work with a team of professionals both at the corporate level and around the country, depending on the needs of the business and where the demands are with parts of the software that they need excellence in.
Great. So are you part of a larger network? Is yours a franchise, or is this something that you've created yourself?
I did not create this myself. I wish that I had. Actually, the beauty of it is my background. stems from a client care perspective, and I did most of this work manually. And last year when the company was purchased, much of that work has been automated, which is providing another piece of the business called Thrive Leads. And we use many of the things that you used when you were in business. We use social media. We use AdWords platforms like the Google, Yahoo, and Bing, and several others. And we also use third-party pieces such as blogs and articles for content, and we post ads there. And the beauty of this is we build this based on the program and how your program is performing online. And if one area is moving in a better way and driving more leads to your business, then we shift dollars and move it right into that segment so that you're optimizing everything that you're putting online with us.
Sure. So you also help to create a funnel.
Correct.
And are able to see then how the customers or the viewers flow through that funnel into a transactional activity. And that's a very valuable tool, and I'm sure that that's a big part of your ability to manage their ad dollars more effectively.
It absolutely is. So many times clients are doing great things. They're doing things right, and they just need a tool to capture it all and be able to cultivate it and be able to target a message at a time when it'll be able to convert into a sale.
You know, knowledge is everything, and if you can't keep track of what's going on, you certainly don't have a clue of what's going to go on. And one of the things that I always found was a real challenge was even looking at what day parts were going to be more effective, and of course. So that's a whole separate issue, because some day parts you may get higher engagement but lower conversions. And is that something that you've looked at as well?
Absolutely. In fact, the machine learning on every individual account has that capability in it, and our goal is to maximize that spend at the time that it makes the most sense with the correct message. So we use the voice and the brand of the client, but we tailor it so that it follows the patterns of performance online and user engagement.
But that's just the marketing side of what you do. You have other components as well, I'm sure.
We do.
So you have the whole full bookkeeping packages and everything like that as well?
We have a sales and invoicing segment in this software. We have the ability to write social media for you. We have the ability to do email and texting campaigns as well as create coupons. We build in a commercial online for you so that you have a video and you can push that out through social media and other channels. We have the CRM portion of it as well. We have online as well as in-person assistance. Just a myriad of different things depending on what the business needs.
You know, I was really surprised.
Excuse me.
Go ahead.
I wanted to just interject when we get back from our break to pick up on an area that fits in with our entrepreneur network concept of trying to help people start and build their own business. And when we get back from our break, I wanted for you to possibly share some examples of startup type business situations and some that have just started but it ain't going exactly in the right direction. So don't go away, folks. We're going to be right back with Michelle Armstrong and Wes Berry. Wow, double whammy. Don't you dare go away. We'll be right back.
If you need a helping hand to stay at home, or maybe you'd like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or run errands for you, or maybe you're going to need help with bathing or personal grooming, or you need home renovations to enable you to stay in that home safely and securely. Or maybe you can't leave your home, but you need somebody to come in and do things like a doctor, a nurse, a podiatrist, a dentist, or to have your prescriptions delivered to you. Well, House Calls on Wheels is the answer to all of that. House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. And all the medical services are covered by insurance. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour. So if you or someone you know needs a helping hand at home, call House Calls on Wheels for a free in-home consultation. And that toll-free number is 1-888-489-8980. All right? That's 1-888-489-8980.
Tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. for the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneurs Network radio show featuring Ike Engelbaum. Ike does an array of interviews with people that make the aging process go smoothly. And for the Entrepreneurs Network segment, Ike interviews up-and-coming entrepreneurs. If you're looking to start your own business, Ike has some great advice to offer you to get your dreams of starting a home-based business a reality. If you'd like to talk to Ike Engelbaum for more information, call 313-929-6105. That's 313-929-6105. So tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. to hear Ike Engelbaum on the Bright Side of Aging and the Entrepreneur Network radio show.
And we're back with Michelle Armstrong. Boy, oh boy, with a name like Armstrong, you make businesses stronger. Is that what part of your deal is with Thrive?
You know what I do? I do like.
And speaking of someone strong is Wes Berry. He may look like he's not strong, but he is really strong. I haven't challenged him to any arm wrestling yet, but I will possibly. So watch out. And before the break, Michelle, you were going into some of the details, and I was fascinated by a lot of the various strategies that you have for thriving, since that's, see how that ties in with Thrive? That's the name of your company.
It sure is.
So you got really the support of a national organization, so it's not like a one-woman show. There's nothing wrong with women. I'm married to one, okay? Tell me, for someone who's just starting a business or just started and is not going the right way, are you able to help those type of people, Michelle?
Those are my favorite type of people because that's my background. Degrees like any good person might have, and work experience and having run my own business and having been an entrepreneur from the ground up, I bring that experience to the table for them. As far as affordability, I find that day to day things change. So if you could hire someone for minimum wage for 1 hour a day, that's where I start. Mm-hmm. So I think that's terribly affordable for a startup business.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And you can get the benefit of all of this.
Right. And the situation many times, a lot of these startup business types, and it was a joy to have you at our last meeting, which, by the way, for those who've just tuned in, our Entrepreneur Network meeting has speakers like Michelle, and maybe we'll have you a speaker down the line. So if you're sort of floundering around, you know that you should be doing something, and you want to do everything on your own, guess what? I can tell you from personal experience, there's a time that you have to back off and stick with what you're doing and take advantage of the automation. So Michelle Armstrong, someone, let's say, that's just started out a business and doesn't exactly know how to proceed with the existing program they have, can you come in to supplement or actually make the computer system thrive?
You know what? I try to work with anybody's situation. I offer a free consultation for them. Mm-hmm. I'll come and visit them when I can. And then, yes, I can come in and take a look at what they're using and how they're currently processing and running their day-to-day. We have that conversation. And then I introduced, and we have a discussion about how they think it should go and ways we could improve it. And then we talk about the components of how Thrive can help them do that.
Mm-hmm. So during the break, you were saying you work with all kinds of different companies, right?
Yes.
So there isn't any one particular company that you zero in on, so your system is adaptable to other programs.
It was designed that way, Ike, and we want to make sure, we want to give the local business and the entrepreneur an edge, because while we might be a big company, we know that communities just like the one I live in, Royal Oak, and here where we're at right now in Southeast Michigan, all of these little businesses, they need an edge. They need someone to help them, and that's what I'm here to do.
Mm-hmm. So you don't charge right from the get-go, is that right?
My consultation with them is at no charge.
So then you assess their needs. I'm just curious, Wes Berry, since you've been there and done that, did you find there were many times that whatever program that you were on needed sprucing up, so to speak?
Oh yeah, but we were also we in a different life, so to speak. We were very active in franchising, and we had about 30 franchises over about 5 states. And one of the problems that I saw a lot of people have is that they weren't preparing to be able to grow. Big things have small beginnings, and there's a terrible temptation in business when you're first getting started to say, "Hey, I can see everything on my kitchen table. I don't need to do this. I can put it all in my wallet. I can carry it." You know what? That might be true, but you can't grow it. And you wouldn't plant a tree where it wasn't going to be able to grow large if you want to succeed. So you have to make sure that when you're growing your business, when you're planting that seed to grow your business, that you're placing it where it's going to get plenty of sunshine, have the opportunity to grow, and be able to spread out its roots. And that's why so many businesses do fail. They wind up just throwing the seeds out there and planting them in among a bunch of rocks.
When you were in business, did you find with over 30 locations, you probably had to have a department for certain things, or you had to hire experts in certain areas because there's only so much of you?
Sure, of course.
To dole around. Can you explain a little bit about the decision-making between doing it yourself, doing everything yourself, and the moment that you decide to hire a professional to help you in an area that you know you need help?
Well, when I sold our business a few years ago, we had about 100 employees locally here, and I had about 100 employees overseas. They were in the Philippines and also in Guatemala. And I don't know, maybe 10 years before that or so, we really started developing an executive team. But if you are not going to have a business that you can pass different segments on to other people to manage and other people to run or other systems to run, then you're building a business that will never be able to grow. You have to start from the beginning of having the infrastructure, even if you're the only one that's administering it, but having the infrastructure that you can spread out and be able to include other people in. The first rule in business or in anything really is to try to replace yourself. And you have to be able to pass all those things on. And you may be a great person in the particular skill set that you're in, but if you're going to be in business, the skill set you have to be in is delegating.
Yes, and do you find that as you were transitioning through the years and your business was growing and you were establishing all these different locations, did you find yourself in a place where I really need key personnel in certain spots? And if you did, was it a matter of, okay, now that mobile's involved, how do I integrate mobile? Because I'm sure as you've watched your businesses get to the point of being sold, you've seen the digital space become this huge, big space that people sometimes don't understand how to make the most of.
Of course. We had an AdWord certified professional that worked with us. We had someone who would take care of mobile and someone who would deal with social, and they were full-time occupations. But they didn't start off as full-time occupations. They had to grow that way.
Wow, speaking of growing, we just have grown out of time. It's been a delight to have you both on. We'll have to have the discussion continued on a next program. Right now, we have to wrap it up, as they say, and I only have enough time for my parting thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.